Hi, this is Jacob with RemoveVirus.org, and today we're going to be taking a look at Total PC Defender, which also goes by Desktop Defender 2010. It's the same exact threat on the systems. The only difference is the name. They're made by the same person. This is fake software. It's nothing to even consider purchasing, and you'll notice that several of the warnings that you're going to see on your screen, such as these. Here's a few other ones that are going to come up, and it's constantly going to ask you to register the product, and it's actually very hard to shut down. It's one of those ones that just doesn't really give you an option to shut down. One of the first things you can try to do is to bring up your task manager. In all instances of our testings for XP, Windows 7, and XP, we found that Total PC Defender and Desktop Defender 2010 actually did disable the Windows Task Manager. But if you can, go ahead and hold down Control Alt Delete and see if it will come up. For us, is what we're getting the following error when we do try holding down Control Alt Delete. And the error is basically saying that it's been disabled. And this is the actual interface where it tries to sell you the license for the product. Once again, this is false. Don't fall for it. Definitely don't pay 90 bucks. Yeah. So let's go ahead and get started onto the actual removal process of this. And one of the first things you can do is go ahead and go over to the Windows Start button. This is going to be the same for Windows 7 and Vista 2 as well. Just hit the Start button, go to Computer or My Computer, and basically within Windows Explorer here, we're going to go ahead and go under the C drive. And what we're doing is we're actually locating the file name right now. Here are the actual locations right here. And we have the C Windows Total PC Defender, and that's going to be for Total PC Defender, obviously, and then the Windows / Desktop Defender 2010. So, let me go back over here. And there we go. So, go ahead and open up to the Total PC Defender or the Desktop Defender 2010 folder. And so what we're going to try to do real quick is actually rename the actual file. For some people this will work, and if it does, great. Let's go ahead and see, and it did for us in this case. And if it did not, we could always go through the msconfig, which you're going to see us do in a little while here. But that's what we did to start, is we simply rename the file. You can also try to delete the file after you rename it. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it will not. And we'll go ahead and try it. Yeah, saying that's currently in use, which is quite alright. The biggest thing is for us to actually rename it. So that's renamed. We're going to head and reboot. By rebooting, I mean turn off your computer and come back in, and I'll see you on the other side here. Okay, so we went ahead and rebooted our computer, and already now we have control over our desktop again. It's not all blacked out. We can pretty much do anything we want right now. And so I'm going to go ahead and use the Windows Explorer and go to C / Program Files. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the Total PC Defender folder, and if it was Desktop 2010, or I should say Desktop Defender 2010, you just right click it on it too as well. Again, I'm only making one video for both of these threads because they are from the exact same maker, and basically it's the exact same removal procedure for both of these particular ones, just a little bit different file name. So I run ahead and I remove that, the actual file trace. Now, so what I have to do is we're going to go into the actual startup menu. So let me go ahead and hit Start, Run, msconfig, hit OK. And on XP and Vista, it's just the Windows button there, and then it'll just be in the Start Search area. And about a few seconds later, we're going to have the box come up for us. Go under Startup. Let's take a look here. And right here we have the Total PC Defender 2010. And again, if it was a Desktop Defender 2010, it'll say it right there. So that's the actual file path to the folder itself that we removed. So go ahead and uncheck that. But the main reason for us going in here is we're going to want to take a look at the actual registry key, because we have to go in and we have to remove this registry key. So definitely uncheck it there. But now we're going to have to go into the HKey local machine software Microsoft Windows current version run. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how to do that. And I don't recommend anybody actually going in to this and editing the registry. At this point in time, you should be able to use software to remove it. I love Spyware Doctor with antivirus is what I use. I also use Malwarebytes too as well. So those are the two clients I recommend to most people. But this is for educational purposes, so we're going to cover the full exact removal instructions for this. So reg, edit, I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and what that's going to do is it's going to bring up the Windows registry for me. So I'm going to go down to, it was HKey local machine. I believe it was software. See, it's very easy to get confused while you're in here, so you want to be 100% sure and exact of where you're going. And there it is right there. So I'm just going to click on it, right click, delete. I deleted it. And that's basically it for this threat. Now, you will most likely still have the icon left on your desktop and the icon floating around, but that's just a software link to the actual location. So that in itself doesn't really matter. If I hit OK here, close that down, and it actually shouldn't be in the MS config anymore. So the last thing you should do is go ahead and run a full scan. Oh, well, look here. You're going to have this icon floating around just a little bit here and there. Just right click on it, delete. It can do no harm just because it's just a shortcut to the executable, which we already deleted. So go ahead and delete shortcut. And if you got infected with this, chances are you have other Trojans on your system. That's why it's so important to run a full scan. So I'm going to go ahead and just run a scan here with Spyware Doctor with antivirus, is what I actually have installed, just to show you some of the results that it comes up with. And if at any point in time you find this to be too hard for you, or it's just not working for you, what I do recommend is either going over to removevirus.org and actually reading the manual guide there and asking your questions, or else the other option you have is to hire a professional out to remove this for you. If you want to go that route, we do recommend the professionals over at www.onlinecomputerrepair.org. Again, that's onlinecomputerrepair.org. They're very good at what they do. They can remove the threat online for you. They just remote in. They're based out in California. It's a great company, and I recommend them out and have been for years now, just because they're very, very solid at what they do. Alright, so we went ahead and ran the scan here, and these are the results. This was just the quick 10-minute scan that we did on here, and you're going to see for it actually shows that it was part of the AV System Care family too as well. And these are some of the other files and folders, and regardless, I do recommend, you can always run a scan with any security client out there. I do recommend the Spyware Doctor with antivirus, and we do have a coupon listed on our website too as well that you can find. It's really good stuff. And here are the other threats that you can actually manually go in and remove. We're going to have these listed on our website, as well as some other registry values and keys for you to go in and actually remove. And down here are the actual keys that need to be repaired, so you'd have to actually browse to these and edit those to turn them back on. And we'll notice, even though right now the task manager is disabled still, so if I hold down Control Delete, it's still going to error out on me, just like that. So we will actually go in and we'll go ahead and turn on the task manager, just because that is a pretty important tool for you guys. So I'll show you guys how to do that, and then we'll conclude this video. But I do recommend you just use software to do it. Nobody should go into the registry. So here is the top string that we went to, which is the HKey users, and you're going to have your dash in there, or the long string of numbers. And we actually browsed to this location because it's containing all these ones. And that's going to be right here, so I'm just going to delete that whole folder. Yes. Now let's go in and re-enable the task manager. I located the string. I'm going to go ahead and open it. We're going to change that value to 0. Let's see if that went ahead and worked. And after setting them both to 0, we now have control back of the task manager. So again, Control Delete, and it's going to bring it back up. And that's important too, just so you have that. And we show you guys that just in case you don't ever want to purchase anything or any software at all. And that completes it for the Total Security, or I should say Total PC Defender and Desktop Defender 2010 removal guides. Once again, if you have troubles, just hit us up, removevirus.org. Just do a search for either threat that you have, and you can read the removal article there. And I hope it helps. Hope you enjoyed it.